Hello everyone. I am Dr. Velumani P.S., Professor, Department of Computer Science, University of Science and Technology, Meghalaya. In this video, we are going to see the artificial intelligence concepts. The contents are artificial intelligence, why to study the artificial intelligence, then the definition of the artificial intelligence, the mapping of artificial intelligence to the human brain, then the knowledge representation in AI, and certain learning methods also represented in this particular video. So the artificial intelligence, so it is the concept of making a machine similar to act as a human being. So the human intelligence will be inbuilt into a machine. So the philosophy is, where does the knowledge comes from? Then how does language related to the thought? Then how do our brain process the information? Then how do you make decisions to maximize the utility? And how to proceed the computations? And how can we build an efficient computer? So the thoughts which is related to the brain and its computational calculation powers and the thinking capacity, that will be inbuilt into the artificial machines. So in this situation, machine is going to have the capability to act as a human being, and it will take its own decision according to the directions which is given by the human being. We will see certain supervisory learning techniques also in this artificial intelligence. So the history, the artificial intelligence inception, that was started in the year 1943-53. So the great expectations was happened in 1969 timings. The reality came on the ground in the year 1973. The expert systems also 1986. Then the specific model, neural network model, that particular neural network model, 1986 to present date, this method, the neural networks, is applicable for the various intelligence activities of the machine. Then the probabilistic reasoning and machine learning, that is also continue on the same year from till date. Then the big data 2001 to till date. Then the deep learning 2011 to till date. So we'll see one by one neural networks, then the machine learning, big data, and deep learning, and all in our further videos. First, we'll see what exactly the artificial. Artificial objects or materials or processes do not occur naturally and are created by human being. So the concept is very simple, that so naturally it will not happen, which is going to be created by the human being. Then often using science and technology. So it will be made by human work or art, not by nature, not natural. Made in imitation of or as a sustainable for something natural simulated, so which is unnatural in an effective way. Then intelligence. So the intelligence is the ability to learn or understand or to deal with new or trying different situations. That is called reasoning. The ability to apply knowledge to manipulate one's environment or to think abstractly as measured by objective criteria such as test. So the intelligence is the power which is having the capability to understand and apply the knowledge to manipulate one's environment or to think abstractly as measured by objective criteria. So for this mental activeness, that is sharpness, which is called brilliancy, the act of understanding, comprehension, that is to understand. So the brilliancy to understand, the ability to perform computer functions. So that is called intelligence here. So why to study this artificial intelligence? If you're looking thousands of years, we have tried to understand how to think, how a handful of matters can perceive, understand, predict, and manipulate a world far larger and more complicated than itself. The field of artificial intelligence or AI goes further still. It attempts not just to understand but also to build intelligent entities. AI is one of the newest field in science and engineering. Work started in earnest soon after World War II, and the name itself was coined in 1956. Along with molecular biology, AI is regularly cited as the field I would most like to be in by scientists in other disciplines. AI currently encompasses a huge variety of subfields ranging from the general learning and perception to a specific such as playing chess, professional mathematical theorem, writing poetry, driving a car on a crowded street, and diagnosing diseases and so on. So these particular areas and all AI used in wide ranges. AI is relevant to any intelligent task. It is truly a universal field. What is artificial intelligence? So it is nothing but intelligence to be a property of internal thought processes and reasoning, while other focus on intelligent behavior and external characterization. From these two dimensions, human versus rational thinking, human versus rational thinking, and thought versus behavior. There are four possible combinations, and there have been adherence and research programs for all four. So, the human versus thinking and the thought versus behavior. These four properties considered for the artificial intelligence focuses. Mapping of artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is quite a big umbrella term that covers all methods, algorithms, and systems that exhibit some sort of intelligent behavior. One can mimic intelligent with coding into the system a set of heuristic rules expressing some knowledge. So it is does not necessarily need to be through any kind of learning, but the knowledge can be built into the program. That is the main thing. The knowledge can be built into the program, and the algorithm can have the parameters of knowledge representation. However, learning is as well one of the areas of artificial intelligence. So there are several types of learning methods we will see in further slides. How human capability is mapped to artificial intelligence fields. So the human being capabilities needs to be mapped to artificial intelligence field. That is the thing. So one of the great way to explain sub areas of artificial intelligence is that through human sense and capabilities. Generally, human being having a set of senses and capabilities that make them behave intelligently. So the set of senses and capabilities that will be there in human brain, and it will give the direction to behave intelligently. So in the field of artificial intelligence, it is trying to mimic this, and therefore for each human sense or capability there would be a field in artificial intelligence that would try to find the best way to mimic that capability. So we can see the figure. So the AI research field and human capability. So in this figure we can see the human being versus this AI research field, how this can be mapping. The human is seeing the system, at the same time the AI, this particular robot is having the capability of computer vision. Human is hearing and hear sound processing. Human is talking, signing, and singing, and here sound synthesis will be processed. Human will understand the language. Here the natural language processing is the concept. The movement from human body is the considered. The robotics is having the capability for this. Then reasoning is also another aspect. Here the automated reasoning will be considered. The learning, human being learning, here the concept is machine learning. So in such a manner, the mapping was done in between AI research field to the human being capability. So from that figure, the computer vision field of AI would mimic seeing, sound processing, hearing, natural language processing, will mimic language understanding, and so on. The machine learning would mimic how human learns, and as we learn to understand language and recognize object. Some of the machine learning concepts played a major role in the development and application of other areas such as computer vision, NLP, that is natural language processing, reasoning, and so on. So in this figure, the human being thoughts to the machine, how it is visualized. The first, the concept of machine learning. So under that machine learning, deep learning and predictive analysis are the consideration. And the second stage of natural language processing for the language understanding, different classifications and translations, data extraction method will be considered. Then after that, speaking, that the speech to text or text to speech conversion, that is the process. which we can consider here. For that, expert system will be used for the image recognition, machine vision in terms of vision from the AI field. Then planning and optimization is also the concept. Based upon that only the robotics field, the field of robotics can move from one place to another place and take decisions based upon all these previous concepts like predictive analysis, deep learning, machine learning, natural language processing, and the text or speech understanding. By using the planning and optimization technique, the final vision is taken under consideration. The robotics, it can take its own decision and it can quickly analyze and predict the results by using some computational methods, by using different type of algorithms. Knowledge representation in AI. Knowledge representation is the field of artificial intelligence dedicated to representing information about the world in a form that a computer system can use to solve complex tasks such as diagnosing a medical condition or having a dialogue in a natural language. So that is the knowledge representation. So it incorporates findings from psychology about how humans solve the problems. So I have marked in blue color very clearly findings from psychology about how humans solve problems. So that is the knowledge representation incorporates with this particular field, and it represents knowledge in order to design formalisms that will make complex system easier to design and build. Knowledge representation makes complex software easier to define and maintain than procedural code and can be used in expert systems. And again, it incorporates findings from logic to automate various kinds of reasoning such as application of rules or the relations of set of subsets. And not just storing data into some database, it also enables an intelligent machine to learn from that knowledge and experiences so that it can behave intelligently like human. And the knowledge is an useful term to judge the understanding of an individual on a given subject. So the knowledge representation in this figure, we can see the declare active knowledge of objects, facts, then the heuristic knowledge, rules of thumb, then meta knowledge, that is from knowledge about knowledge, that is meta knowledge, procedural knowledge, rules, procedures, then the structural knowledge, it talks about the relationship between object concepts. Declarative knowledge, we'll see one by one. So the knowledge which is based on concepts, facts, and object is termed as declarative knowledge. So what it provides in the sense, the necessary information about the problem in terms of simple statement, either true or false, like yes or no. In such a manner, this declarative knowledge. If it is yes, do this. If it is no, do this. Like that, this declarative knowledge will be determined. Then the procedural knowledge. It is derived the information on the basis of rules, strategies, agendas, and procedures. It describes how a problem can be solved. What is the logic can be utilized to solve the particular problem. So the procedural knowledge directs the step by step on how to perform something, some tasks. For example, computer program. So a set of sequence of steps which can be fed into the computer to solve a specific problem and we to get the solution. So the procedural knowledge can have these kind of capabilities. Heuristic knowledge. It is based on the thumb rule. The thumb rule is which is useful guiding the reasoning process. The reasoning process. So it is the type the knowledge representation is based on the strategies to solve the problem through the experiences of past problems. Yes, the knowledge representation is based on the strategies to solve problems through the experience of the past problems. So the data sets, past data sets, experienced data sets, those statistics will be available to compare and to compiled by the expert. Hence, it is also known as shallow knowledge, meta knowledge. So, it is an idea about the other types of knowledge that are suitable for solving problem. So, the meta knowledge is helpful in enhancing the efficiency of the problem solving through proper reasoning process. That is the meta knowledge. Structural knowledge, it is associated with the information based on rules, sets, concepts, and various relationships. It provides the information which is necessary for developing the knowledge structures and overall mental model of the problem. Introduction to machine learning. Now, the machine learning, which is concerned with giving machines the ability to learn by training algorithm on a huge amount of data. So the training to the machines, the ability to learn by training algorithms on a huge amount of data. So it makes use of algorithms and statistical model to perform a task without needing explicit instructions. Generally, in machine learning often deals with the following issues: collecting data, filtering data, analyzing the data, then training the algorithm, then the testing the algorithms, using algorithms for future predictions. A training data set preparation. So how this process can be done, this particular diagram will be represented. So the first, the raw data will be set into the active learning model trained from the human labeled data. The raw data, general raw data will be fed into this active learning model. This active learning model is nothing but human labeled data is then sent back to retain and improve the machine learning model. So after raw data train, active learning model is trained from human labeled data, then it moved into the train data the model understand is labeled automatically. So the training data will understand the labeled automatically. So in that ambiguous data is sent to the human labelers for annotations. Finally, an accurate training data set is ready for use. So that is called our training data set preparation. So it is just matching with human labeled data, and based upon that active learning model will be prepared, and just try to match this active learning data with the raw data, then the accurate data set will be prepared from the training data model. Examples of this: virtual personal assistants, refined search engine results, image recognition, and the product recommendations. These are all some examples of this particular training dataset preparation. Approaches to ML, that is supervised learning, unsupervised learning, reinforcement learning. So based upon the training data set usage or with the help of the training data set, supervised learning, without the help of training data set, unsupervised learning, and reinforcement learning is another type of learning. So these are all certain approaches. We'll see one by one. So the data labeling is the concept, the computer vision. So in this figure, we can see that two eyes, then one nose, one mouth. So that maybe indicates to maybe a cat or maybe a dog or it may be a fox. So like that, the vision can be visualized. The natural language processing, it may be in the form of text or voice or maybe some smileys. So different type of languages can be understandable by using this NLP. Then the audio processing, the speech to text conversion, which we are seeing in this figure, the data labeling. The first concept is supervised learning. The supervised learning is a subcategory of machine learning and artificial intelligence. So it uses of labeled data set to train algorithm. So the labeled data sets will be used to train the algorithm that to classify data or predict outcomes accurately. So already trained data sets are available. So the prediction of the outcome that will be accurate. As input data is fed into the model, it adjusts its weights until the model has been filtered properly, which occurs as part of the cross validation process. So the supervised learning is when we teach or train the machine using data that is well labeled, which means some data is already tagged with the correct answer. So with the correct answer, the trained data set is there means automatically we will get the proper output. Now we can see the supervised learning model. Here we can see the input raw data. So different type of shapes are there like circle, rectangle and square. So these data and all it is fed into the supervised data learning model. And in this supervisor training data set desired output, both the things will be there and the algorithm will be used to predict what kind of input raw data from the trained data set and the desired output also will be here. Then after the processing on this input raw data, exactly we will get the output of the set of circles, the set of squares and the set of triangles. So this is the actual data output which is made it up from the V7 labs. Unsupervised learning. So as we already discussed about in this machine learning technique in which models are not supervised using training data set. So the point is not supervised using training data set. So instead models itself find the hidden pattern and insights from the given data. It can be compared to learning which takes place in human brain while learning the new things. So if we are looking unsupervised learning, it is the training of machine using information that is neither classified nor labeled and allowing the algorithm to act on that information without guidance. So we'll see this particular diagram, there is no trained data set in this diagram. We can see this particular model. So there will be a labeled data, set of labeled data. Maybe it is set of animals like that. So with the label, we are having rat, dog, lion. Specific label we are making with this. But this labeled data, it consists of all the set of animals. Now this model, this particular labeled data will be sent to the model training, and the labels also will fed into the model training. Now there will be no trained data set. Directly it is going to predict by using the test data, and whether it may be a lion or a dog or it may be a rat. So this prediction, it will be takes place in unsupervised learning models. Reinforcement learning. So this is differs from supervised learning in a way that in supervised learning, the training data has the answer key. So the training data is exact data set will be available, the exact amount of data, the accuracy of the data will be available with it. Also the model is trained with the correct answer itself, whereas in reinforcement learning there is no answer, but the reinforcement agent decides what to do to perform the given task. So here the reinforcement agent, that is the third party agent, will be utilized to identify what exactly the object or maybe the data. So in the absence of training data set, it is bound to learn from its experience. So we can see this figure how the reinforcement learning in ML is going to be happening here. See the input raw data, there are different type of data it is available, that is square shapes and star shaped, and another type of it's like butterfly type of shape is also there, and these all shapes will fed into the environment, which is the third party environment, that is reinforcement agent. The reinforcement agent environment, the state of agent, it select a particular algorithm to identify the input raw data, and it takes the best action and to give the proper output. So this particular agent will select the algorithm and take best action on the environment and reward the state, and it will keep on taking action until and unless to get the desired output. So in such a manner, this process can be takes place in the reinforcement learning in machine learning techniques. Now applications of machine learning. So the wide areas like image recognition, speech recognition, traffic prediction, product recommendations, self-driving cars, email, spam and malware filtering, virtual personal assistant, online fraud detection. These are all the areas, application areas, the machine learning will be used, and the effective utilization of certain areas like traffic prediction and self-driving car, online fraud detection. Some of the challenging tasks also takes place by the applications of ML, and definitely there is no doubt the artificial intelligence concepts of machine learning will takes lead to all the concepts in the latest trend of information technology. Thank you very much. Thank you.